Hi traders, hope you had a great trading week. I'm on the Aussie Yen daily chart, got my monthly, weekly, day support and resistance levels all drawn in. They're referenced in the description below. I'll just discuss the ones closest to price action. Now the Aussie Yen last week found some support down here on weekly and monthly support and rallied back up, but be aware that we have a lower top, lower bottom, heavy rejection on Friday. That was a common theme on Friday. Couldn't quite get back up to 89.86, which is daily resistance. Now we do have the interest rate decision coming out on Tuesday. We could actually come up to actually test that level physically, and then does price reverse down from that level. But we simply may just break the rejection candle on Monday and start to want to move down to challenge day support. Can we break through 88.10 for a continued decline down to test the weekly and monthly support levels once more? Alright, moving on to the Aussie dollar. Now Aussie dollar is very range bound. You could say it's in an uptrend here on the day chart, higher top, higher bottom, but it just keeps holding out for the last 3 weeks at least now. Tries to move above 67.16, but really not closing above it. Held at that level all last week. Start of the week it couldn't move below weekly support 66.29, came back up to daily resistance and held. So very range bound. We could have failed there on Friday, another rejection candle Friday. Watch for 67.16 next week to be resistance once more. If we do come back up towards the 67 level, watch for 67.16 to be resistance again, to move down to retest weekly support at 66.29. Again, got the interest rate decision on Tuesday, so those levels could well be touched and traded around as we head into that decision. Okay, moving on to the Euro Yen, very volatile, traded all the way back up to weekly resistance. So very broad range here, weekly resistance, weekly support. We also moved back below this monthly high level over here, 144.26. I've discussed that level many times. You can see it being resistance in here. So are we trading all the way back down now to the bottom of the range? Big rejection candle. I'm expecting a reversal from that candle, but we may at least see a bit of an uptick back to monthly resistance, 144.26 at the start of the week. Does that area hold as resistance intraday to move below day support and start to move back down the range next week? That rejection candle looks like a complete failure, so I'd anticipate a move back down the range next week. Okay, moving on to Euro dollar. Almost perfect railroad tracks there at resistance. Nice rejection candle here at 109.27 the week before. Are we forming a double top up here? Are we failing at 109.27 for a move back down the range? Considerable rejection there on Friday. So breaking this candlestick pattern, I would anticipate we are going to move back down the range. Now we failed at 108.79 as well, which is monthly resistance from back in time. We could at the start of the week come back up at least to try to challenge 108.79, maybe the 10900 level, but I'm anticipating that we're going to be moving down to test day support at 108.02, and then can we move back below that level to come down and test weekly support 107.36. This old high over here is a weekly top. So are we failing up there at 109.27 for a move back down to challenge weekly support? Alright traders, onto the pound crosses. Now the pound yen, I'm just drawing in the broad range here. This is weekly resistance and this is monthly support from back in time over here. So that's the broad range that we're trading in. Another pair showing Friday rejection. So a break of the rejection candle would lead to the idea that we failed at the top of the range, moving back down to the bottom of the range. But through the start of the week, I would watch for at least price to come back up to retest these highs. I'm using daily chart resistance from over here at 164.03, so approximately the 16400 level area there. Do we come up to these day chart highs, hold on Monday for a move back down the range? Now with all these ranges, I don't know whether we can move back down to the bottom of the range, but we're definitely seeing a complete rejection on Friday's candles. So anticipate that we are going to move back down the ranges to some extent. Okay, last pair to review for the weekend, pound dollar. Now on Friday, after moving up all week, we rejected which is monthly resistance, 123.91 from back in time. We've failed at that resistance level once and twice. And we're trading in very much a broad weekly range, weekly resistance, weekly support. We've traded up all month from weekly support, almost back up to the top. So that rejection candle on Friday is at the signal that we're failing up there. So if we break Friday's low, we'd have to start to anticipate that we're going to be moving down next week. Now we could come back up and retest the resistance level that we failed at on Friday. It's pretty much the 12400 level. Do we have another test up here? But are we going to see a decline next week down to test weekly support at 122.93, and can we start to move below that level and move below day support at 122.69 for a move back down the range next week? Are we trading in a very broad range there? Okay traders, that's my analysis for today. If you want to keep up to date with my analysis, simply subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Now if you'd like to follow my Forex trading analysis throughout the week, why not subscribe to the ACY Securities live interactive trading feed Telegram channel. Simply contact Nathan.bray at acy.com to get access.